All right. Another Crossroads podcast number 74. I'm your host, Jake Ryan.
And I'm some guy, James LaFlame.
You're the co-host, basically.
I mean, at this point.
Yeah. You're my co-conspirator in this operation to overthrow the government.
Whoa.
I mean, no, that's not what we're doing here.
I mean, you're the one with the. Did you dye your hair too?
Yeah, I did. I shaved it and cut and dyed it.
Cut it and dyed it.
Yeah,
Dang.
they're like, they knew that some dreadlocked crazy guys trying to overthrow the government. I was like, dude, I gotta shave my head and change my identity here.
Yeah, I'm trying to blend in.
Yeah. No, I was rocking those dreads for a long time, but they actually are pretty hard to maintain.
Yeah.
Like keeping them clean,
Mm-hmm.
especially I work in a dusty environment. So it's like no matter how much I wash them and can do like different pulls from them, like apple cider vinegar and some other like baking soda treatments and lemon juice and all this stuff. But I'm like,
Right.
it just doesn't really do justice, especially in the dusty environment. But it was a sad day cutting them off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love the feeling of like a nice strong dread. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this thing is thick.
Right.
So
Yeah, I've never done it.
yeah, I
I
was like,
feel
I
like
got to do it once.
I feel like I'd have some pretty thick ass dreads.
Yeah, dude. When I grow my hair out, especially yours as well, I've seen you grow it out pretty long.
Yep.
And I usually grow my hair out and then shave it. Um,
I haven't even it's getting long, dude. It's getting like I just haven't cut it in a few months, but I've
oh,
had it short forever.
you're growing a mullet. It's probably beyond a mullet now.
I mean, it's like it's kind of got the mullet shit going on because like it's basically just the sides that I keep up, but the rest I haven't even touched. It's just like
Wait, the sides. So you are rocking a mullet.
pretty much, yeah.
Nice.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's long on the top too. Like my fucking bangs are like
Oh, you got a oh, you're doing the Danzig.
yeah,
You're doing the Misfits.
right. What is that called again?
I don't know, the Devil Unicorn Spike or
Right.
something. I don't know what it's called, but dude, that's
No, it's getting
rad.
long though.
Nice. You ever do any rad braids? I know you braid it like native style, but
Oh,
you ever do some like
nah, dude.
cornrows?
I don't know. I mean, I would do it. I would let somebody do that to me, but
You have to go to a barber.
no, you just gotta. Someone's just gotta know what they're doing. Plus,
Yeah.
that shit would hurt. Like if you just have normal, even my hair right now, like because normally I just have it like short and kind of going forward, but now it's longer, so I'm pulling it back and just like training your hair follicles to like go a different way. Like sometimes at the end of the day, my scalp will just be like sore, kind of, you know.
Oh, dude, yeah. With dreads, since I have to like back comb them, especially like at the roots. If they're growing long, you have to like back comb the roots again.
Mhm.
Or you can like twist them and then rip them, twist and tear, and they
Right.
just all like knot and lock up, and it just like kills.
Yeah,
But then
like
it
if you
starts
just
to like feel good.
weird.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like that shit would give me a headache.
I mean, it does. And then my fingers would hurt from like twisting them up so much,
Yeah.
But I don't know. There was some sort of like pleasure out of it. It's kind of like when your hair was done or like you got through a good portion, it just had like a cool feeling. And then I just sit and
Yeah,
twirl on that dread like all the time. Like that's kind of probably what I miss the most is, just sitting down watching a movie and I'd be like twisting my dreads.
right.
But
Well, you just gotta twist something else now.
well, I've been twisting my nipples.
Hmm.
I've been dreading my nipple hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not quite the same. And my
Dude,
wife's like, dude, you gotta quit. No.
I wanna check out that guitar.
Check it out.
Well, it's all blurry back there. Dude, I like that color.
They call it blonde. It's a little honey mustard to me. I haven't
Hmm.
named it yet, so I think I'm gonna just name it honey. I just thought of that.
That's dope. Let's
Honey
see it. I can't
honey
really.
last name mustard. It's cool. It's I got it for I'm gonna be playing with the band at church.
Right.
So I mainly bought it for that, and I got the strap, Jesus, the cross. But
Hmm.
it's nice. The Squire, obviously I can't afford the like top notch
An actual
Fenders.
Telecaster.
Yeah, but I don't know. Obviously there's going to be a difference in the wood of the neck and the metal, and the pickups,
I mean,
but
if you're spending like $200-300 on a guitar, it's gonna be like pretty good. Like if you take care of it and put nice strings on it, maybe I don't know.
dude, and I'm the type of player that I'm like I don't need my guitar to sound perfect. I like it to I was thinking about buying like a Kmart guitar the other day.
Yeah, I mean, obviously though, like if you just had mad money, dude, I would love to spend like I don't know how much do you spend on a guitar
Dude, you could
if you're
spend
a millionaire?
shit. They probably spend tens of thousands, probably $100,000 on some guitars if they're like, yo, this is the original.
I just mean something that you're gonna play and like record on and stuff, just like a nice guitar. Like what do you actually really need? Like $2,000 guitar?
If you're a professional, I'd say like if you're a recording artist, a studio musician or performing musician,
Hmm.
then yeah, I'd say more power to you if you're gonna buy an expensive guitar.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, but there's got to be somewhat of like a standard, right? Just like a sport or something. There's no like pro snowboarder that's going to go to, like you said, go to Kmart and buy. Like there's somewhat of a standard. It's probably around that, I would think, right? Like a couple of
yeah,
grand, $2,000-3,000,
yeah,
something like that.
probably. I'm sure you could
It's crazy.
like if I was making buku, I would definitely buy the Fender. This is Fender Squire, but I mean the Fender like custom
So Squire,
or
that's like, is that like that's like a different company, right?
it's Fender. It's just their more affordable market. Like you can
Right,
see the uh you can see Fender underneath Squire.
right.
So this is my first Fender I've actually ever had.
It's basically like Epiphone is to
Gibson.
Gibson, right?
So in my mind, I'm like, still made by Fender. If I had $1,000 more,
Right.
yeah. Like when I get a Les Paul, I'm probably just gonna wait and be like, dude, I'm gonna buy like an expensive Les Paul
I mean, I had a
with humbuckers, not with single coil pickups.
hmm
I
dude,
don't have
yeah.
humbuckers. I never have had them.
I was looking at him today just because I was like, I thought I screenshotted that.
But speaking of
Um,
pickups, I do like this one. You notice how the Telly has this one different one right here,
right.
and then it has just a single coil back here.
Yep.
So I do like the tones that I get out of it. Of course, I have different pedals, but I don't know. It's like some people say, oh, if you're gonna be playing like some lead stuff, you know, you gotta turn it into the high range of the treble. And sometimes I'm like, no, dude, I like it in the low ranges because it sounds like warm. I love that
For
tone.
sure.
But I think just experimenting with it all. And that's the thing is, you know, I'll see guys like John Five, all tellies, all of his
Forgot
guitars.
about that, dude.
I've been watching a lot, but I don't know. I've never been the type that's like, I'm just gonna buy this type of guitar. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, dude, like I don't even really know yet. Like you have to, like you said, experiment and try a bunch of different instruments to kind of find out what you like.
I bought it also for playing this band. They play obviously like praise and worship stuff, but a lot of it, the stuff that they write themselves, sounds a little more country
Right.
and kind of rockabilly bluesy. And I was like, yo, the Telecaster is gonna go good with that.
For sure.
So, but yeah, dude, you know how it is when you get a new guitar, it inspires new songs, new licks.
It's just it's weird that you got that because like I've been thinking about getting an electric forever. And I was just looking at them today, like actually considering on what I should get. And I've always wanted to get just like the Strat body style, you know. But then I was
Well,
looking
then you
at
have the whammy bar, you have the
mhm.
tremolo arm. This obviously you don't have any.
Yeah, but then I was looking at the Telecasters and like I've never even looked at a Telecaster before. I'm like, but I was looking at them today. I'm like, man, that'd be kind of fucking dope. I was thinking about
Yeah.
getting one.
See, that one's a Strat style.
Right.
It's just like an unnamed brand. It's no brand. I think somebody just bought like a kit
Yeah.
and built it themselves, which I'd like to do, but it's pretty much the same thing. It's just probably cheaper wood and metal and pickups.
Man, it sucks that like every pawn shop uses the internet these days.
I know.
Because I mean, some places they might like come across a guitar or something they don't really know what it is, but for the most for the most part, like people are really looking up exactly what that guitar is,
Dude, I
trying to get
seen,
the most money out of it.
you know that Jackson I smashed?
Yeah.
Which I really like that guitar.
Hmm.
I just, it was a gift from somebody that I've tried to make amends with. I've never heard back. But I just didn't like the energy behind the guitar anymore. I would buy that guitar again. I could. Thought about it.
Yeah.
But I seen it at a pawn shop today, the exact same one. In fact,
Hmm.
I think I seen a few others of that dude's guitars in there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I knew that it was them because the paint job on them and stuff. So I was kind of like, what happened here? Maybe they're just old guitars you want to get rid of. And
Right.
but pawn shop had that guitar at basically the same price you get it online new.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. Like,
They had a Telly, Fender Telly for $750 in the pawn shop too.
right. I mean, why wouldn't you though? Like if you look something up and you see that it's selling for this on eBay or something, why wouldn't you sell it? Because that's what they do. Pretty much all of them. They just look up like what has sold on eBay.
I'm not knocking their business, but
It sucks.
what you should do, where you been looking? Sweetwater or Musician's Friend?
Uh, I was checking both of them out.
Apply. I don't know if you've ever applied for their credit.
They're Klarna,
No, with
a
Musician's
firm.
Friend or
Oh, their own thing.
yeah, do it, bro. Because I have one on both, and
Yeah, maybe I should.
Like, I think mine on Sweetwater, dude, musician's friend gave me 2 grand.
Dang.
Yeah, dude.
They gave it to you?
Just gave it to me, no, on credit. But that was my, so I got like the PA system. I pretty much spent it on the PA.
Yeah.
And all the stuff for it. And then I just pay on it, build up until there's something else I want to get, and then I'll get it.
So what you basically just get a credit card with them?
Yeah, and so Sweetwater, I think mine's like 400 or 500 with Sweetwater.
Right. I thought you said they
So
gave you 2 grand.
musician's friend did.
Oh, right. Dang.
And then so I was like, whoa, wait a minute, Sweetwater's offering me one too? I couldn't resist. I was like, dude, I'll be building my music business, you know? So
Mhm.
I highly suggest it. If you're gonna get a new guitar, I would do it like that. They also have financing plans. Sometimes I bought stuff with them. Like I got this. Hi Mowgli. I bought the mixer
Mhm.
so that I could have separate channels when I'm going into FL Studio,
Okay.
mainly for my drum mics.
Yep.
Because I'm like, dude, I got like 8 mics on the drums. So if I'm playing with the band, or even record my own drums, I'm like, dude, I gotta have those all on their own channels, plus guitars, vocals. But I bought
Yep.
this thing. I mean, this thing was probably like $900, $1,000.
Was it?
Yeah,
Dang.
and
Yeah, see, I
so I
was
made
looking
like
at
3 payments with them.
right. That's dope. Well, see, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're spending that much on a guitar, even though it's not the real whatever Fender
Hmm.
Telecaster, it's still a fucking good guitar.
And that's when you also, in my opinion, it's good to have a business, even if you're not like making a whole lot of money with it. It's just in my mind, I was like, dude, if I'm gonna be spending thousands of dollars on this equipment, get down, Mowgli. I might as well write it off and be like, yo, this is just building the business. If I make this much money off of performing or royalties or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things that it's good to keep in the back of your mind if you're spending money, how you can save money or loophole it or build credit with it.
Yep.
And so I think that the Sweetwater or musician's friend, you would dig that because it would be something where it's like, yo, we'll give you this much credit with us, or here's a payment plan for 6 months, 12 months. They do 24 to 48 month payment plans.
Dang.
I've seen those where they're like, you could buy this Gibson for $12 a month for the next 4 years. And part of me is like, well, if that would get me a $2,000 Les Paul, but then I weigh it out. I'm like, do I really need that?
Yeah. So is it like a credit card though, or like what you're saying, like the payment plan, is that like a different type of thing?
That's a different thing with them. Like, but it depends on what type of card you get with them. Like, there's like Musician's Friend has their Musician's Friend consumer credit card or something. And then they also have the Musician's Friend Platinum membership credit.
Right. Um,
So they just
well,
depend.
the reason I ask is because like with the credit card, isn't it, if say you have like a $1,000 credit limit on your card and you use all of the $1,000, isn't that bad for your credit? Because
Well,
that's
yeah.
one of the things, at least just for like a normal credit card, that's one of the things that they report. is, yeah, like the percentage of your credit limit that you use.
Oh, for sure. So yeah, when I was like, dude, I'm gonna bite this chunk out of my credit. Yeah, my credit would drop.
Right.
And then just making payments on it just like goes back up.
For sure.
And sometimes I'll make large payments on it too, on a
Hmm.
credit card where I'll be like, dude, I might drop like sometimes I'd pay like $500 on a credit card
Right.
when usually I just pay a little bit above my normal thing. Like if they're like, yo, it's a $30 payment every month, I'll pay like 50 or
Hmm.
40 or whatever it is just to
Yeah.
keep it going up. And I'm always like, do I want to like Black Friday? I'm like, oh, do I really want to spend in a credit card? Okay, I'll spend a bit, and then, but I'm always like, my number's gonna drop a little bit.
Right.
But then I'm like, well, whatever. It's just gonna go back up. When it really is gonna come down to the important times, will be buying a house for me.
Hmm.
Which probably won't be for another year at least,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But I don't know. That's I wish I could like I wish I had more money.
I feel that.
But you know, that's why I still try to do multiple things.
Yeah.
What you been up to lately? You been just working hard or you been doing extracurricular like your artwork or
Yeah, a little bit of that. Just pretty much just mostly working, I've been messing around with some music a little bit
some
lately.
beats or some writing and recording vocals?
Some beats mostly. Just
Yeah.
trying to at least feel like I've had a kind of like a beat block a little bit. I
Get
was
that
working
electric
on,
guitar, bro. That'll be like new inspiration for you.
for sure. Yeah, I was looking at all sorts of stuff on Sweetwater and Musician's Friend, and I'm like, I don't really need any of this stuff.
I know. Trust me, I've been thinking that too because I've been looking into a new acoustic electric.
Yeah.
Because my acoustic electric is really old and the action's kind of high on the neck. And I've tried to file down the bridge and everything, and it's like,
Right.
it's just kind of has this design a bit. And so I've been looking into different acoustic electrics, and I was like, do I really need this right now? But I see an acoustic electric, or it was a nylon classical electric.
Yeah,
Thought that might be kind of cool.
dude. I mean, I definitely uh like need a guitar, but yeah, just the rest of that stuff that I was looking at, I was like, I don't really need any of this stuff. I got basically what I need. I kind of need a new pair of headphones though. Like these are just like normal.
Sweetwater, bro, or Musician's Friend. You get
Oh,
that.
I know. I was checking it out
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's the other thing where I'm always like, oh yeah, well, there's so much different stuff here. Where I'm like, I need a new guitar stand.
right.
Here, let me let my dog out. He's whining.
Word.
All right, I'm back. My dog was whimpering.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to see my new painting?
Let's check it. New painting. Dang. That's
Feed the
huge.
dog.
That's pretty sick. Hell yeah, dude. I fucks with it.
Dude, that canvas was $10 at Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
it's
yeah, dude.
dude, at the Hobby Lobby, they were like $100 for that size.
Just for a canvas?
Yeah.
You can get them at Walmart that big for like, I think they're like $13 or something. At least the one here.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
You've never looked?
Well, I've seen smaller ones. And I bought like a stack of smaller ones. But I
Right.
was trying to find like the biggest ones I could get. This has been my other new favorite, doing these. Like the
Yeah, I've seen that. That's dope.
dude, you'd be good at them. They're easy.
Yeah, never tried it.
I feel like it's one of those things that like it'll inevitably like look cool.
Right.
Like even if you mess up, I'm like, oh whoops, I messed up. Oh, still looks pretty cool.
For sure.
But
That's dope.
you've been drawing?
Yeah, I haven't done anything real recently. I was trying to do this Mac Miller, and I kind of messed it up, but it was starting to look all right. How do you look at it?
Oh dang, bro. Dude, that's like too good.
I just messed his mouth up a little bit. It's supposed to be like a little more inward. It's like if you see the original picture, you'll tell. But
I think I've seen the original picture possibly, but just knowing his face, I'm like, damn, dude, I can't draw like that.
it's hard as fuck.
Take a long time.
Yeah, it takes a long time, but it's just super hard because, like I said, like with his mouth, like if you just place it, like it's all about getting things to line up.
That's why I'm always like, dude, I'll fucking go abstract.
I mean, I guess all drawing is like that, but with faces, it's a lot, it's a lot harder.
Dude, yeah, but even like realistic, like an apple or a vehicle, all that stuff, like getting the proportions right and the balance,
Hmm.
a human body, like to make an arm and leg and all that look like proper proportions and like the action looks proper.
Right.
Yeah, dude, that stuff's hard. And you know, that's why I do cartoony stuff or just like abstract.
Yeah.
I'll try to do some realistic stuff, but I'm never like I'm just like, dude, this don't look right. Yeah.
I mean, that's how I feel about my stuff, though. I'm like, I just look at it and I'm like, this feels so, but I just don't practice enough, like, because there's certain things about each drawing where I look at it and I'm like, I don't know how much better that part could be. But then that's what it is. Like he'll just spend so much time looking at his left eye, that like it just, by the time you get so far into it, you're like, it's a little bit off, but I'm not gonna erase that. It's just practice. Like,
Yeah, it really actually does take practice.
oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, great job, son. Yeah, sure. Hendrix does clay. He draws too, but this one is new. Clay.
Mm-hmm.
You can get it
Oh,
closer.
cool.
Yeah, Roblox, Piggy, Clowny.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been making a lot of them. He'll make like Pokemon
That's pretty cool.
and Mario and all that stuff. Yeah.
I
But yeah,
love that. Yeah.
he loves the clay. I'm trying to do some claymation.
That stuff's fun, dude.
I've never done it.
My My grandpa was a sculptor.
Oh yeah, you were telling me that. Realistic sculptor.
Yeah, it was like Charlie Russell type stuff.
Dude, that stuff's so hard. I
I've
I'd
never
make
tried
like a
it.
blob. I'd be like, yo, this is a piece of art, but it's like a triangle and a circle and like a squiggly, and not like it's a symbol for um love and the death of your, cat or something.
Right. That's what's cool about like the anatomy type stuff though, is if you just do one reference drawing of like an arm, and all the different muscles and stuff, like if you go to do some cartoony type stuff, you don't have to like recreate each muscle, like if you want to make a muscular like cartoony arm, but like if you just do a couple, because you probably won't even remember them all the different muscles in the arm, but like there's a couple that'll probably stick in your mind, like the forearm. That's always one for me, is just like getting that one forearm shape. Like that can add so much just to making it look like, if that's what you're going for though, like it's just all, there's so many different styles of cartooning.
Yeah, and that's why cartooning is cool, because even caricatures where it's like it's kind of realistic looking, kind of cartoony looking, or even like,
Yeah.
Archer,
Yep.
uh even like anime. It
Hmm.
doesn't really look realistic, but there's a certain style to like their chins, their nose, their eyes.
What was that show on Adult Swim? It was like, it was about the dude. He was like a Willy Wonka type dude, but he ran the prison. Did you ever watch that?
I thought it was something Super Jail, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, that show had a pretty crazy art style. But I
Yeah.
like it when it like when it changes, it's like there is like a set art style, but at times like it'll change just a little bit.
Well, actually, yeah, that's what I wanted to do with our Tides of Maya project for visuals,
Right.
where I was like, well, with the idea of some intergalactic space pirate voyagers or something,
Hmm.
where I'd be like, yo, if they went into a different dimension, they might go from a 2D world and color to like black and white, different art style, pencil drawing. I don't know.
Right.
Um, Stuff like that in one thing, maybe mixed up in the same shots eventually, where it's like,
Hmm.
I don't know.
Did you ever see that Denzel Curry and Kenny Beats Unlocked? It's
Uh-uh.
called. It's just like a mixtape that they did together, but the YouTube visual for it, it's like the whole mixtape. It's just one video, but
Hmm.
each song has like a different it was like a different animator did it.
Is it
It's like
just
a,
a visual like animation, or is that full animation?
yeah, it's like animation. There's like a storyline to it, kind
Oh wow.
of. But yeah, each one is like a different art style and situation or whatever.
I'm gonna check that out for sure.
Is dope. Yeah, I mean the songs are dope too.
And that's what I've been wanting to do with some new music. I was gonna send you even more. I need to send you some, period. Because I'll just rack it up. I'll just record riffs and riffs and riffs, and then kind of go through them and be like, is this something I want to work with, or not? But
Hmm.
yeah, the idea of creating some cool music, and then, visually just getting kind of experimental
Yeah.
and coming up with I don't know, I think a concept would be pretty cool. Maybe if it's not a concrete concept.
Yeah, I mean, it really could be anything, like just not even really knowing what any of that music is going to be like. um I guess any idea is better than none at this point.
Yeah, I always think. Well,
I
recently
think
I've
we
been
should
trying
just
to make some Nine Inch Nails sounding stuff.
okay. I mean, honestly, like if it was um just like yeah, something like that, and like maybe a couple other influences or like guiding, uh I don't know what you want to call it, but just like a way to describe like how you have it in your head or something, you know. Like if it was like Nine Inch Nails and then like maybe some like blues type stuff. That's what's
Yeah,
cool about albums, is like picking those kind of themes, you know, something that'll like, it's like a reoccurring thing throughout the whole album, and it kind of ties it all together, makes it sound like one thing, like it was made at the same time, and you know, all that.
yeah, I think it'll be a really fun experimental project. I just really need to start sending you some stuff because I kind of like almost the idea of almost like a Mr. Bungle. Not totally, but 21 Pilots even they'll kind of have like these different genres, and I think it'd be fun to make some songs be like, yo, this section of this song sounds like emo, and then this next section sounds like just like you're saying with like that Nine Inch Nails industrial sound and then the bluesy sound added to it. So just kind of mixing up a few things. I just want to create something really original.
Yeah, there's, I mean, I think it's possible, just like I think it has to be just original enough, you know,
Right.
because like if you really want to be super original, then you could just make some crazy noise that's never been
Well, that's what
uttered
I'm always
before.
trying to do is like I got this synth pedal and stuff. Like the other day I was thinking, I was like, what if I took a harmonica and then, ran the microphone through a distortion
Hmm.
pedal or a whammy or wah pedal and be like, wah, wah. I don't know. I was just like,
Yep.
I just want to do some weird stuff that, it might just some of those weird things of like if you could take a note from one thing and then you run it through some sort of a filter or loop, and then it just creates like a weird sound, and then you use that sound for your
Yeah. I mean,
synthesizer.
um, that's kind of like, in a way, that's kind of the only direction you could really go with like new music, and like finding a new sound or whatever, is just finding like new textures that haven't really been done before, just like you're saying, you know, and like experimenting with different like recording techniques and stuff.
Hmm.
'Cause at the end of the day, it's like, is there any new genres being created really?
No, and I don't even know if it would even be a genre, but I like the idea of making something really abstract sounding and then almost like f- creating something normal or commercial or sort of mainstream out of something that's like, yo, this does not sound like
Yeah.
uh like anything normal. But then somehow trying to, you know, fit it into a song that some people that wouldn't even listen to that type of music, like people that just listen to like radio music. You can make a
Right.
song out of the weirdness, like Pink Floyd, man. Like when Pink Floyd, they're like classic rock. Like everybody knows a Pink Floyd now.
Yeah.
But there's people that are like, I could never listen to Pink Floyd. They're just too weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that with anything really.
Tool,
Yeah, dude.
they're on the radio now. And I'm like, man, Tool was like, and like Nine Inch Nails. Like, there's just some of these bands that are like, they were never like what would fit on the radio.
Yeah.
And then eventually it just became like part of the culture. Which is great. Not to say that I'm trying to really do that, but you know,
Um I mean, I think it's dope, dude. Like, I mean, there's all different like types of musicians and different levels and everything. I think it would be cool to just contribute in any way, you know? Like, I don't know, it's one thing to be like have an impact to your audience, you know, and people that like consume your art and stuff, but to
mhm.
have an impact like to other musicians and stuff, I think that's super dope, you know.
Yeah, a lot of times, I'll find myself listening to a lot of the same stuff or a lot of like well-known music. But then I'll like scroll through my YouTube feed, like I'll get on an artist and then I'll just keep scrolling and be like, who's this? And then keep scrolling and be like, I just want to
Yeah.
check out more new music and not necessarily new, but just music I have never heard, artists I've never heard of. And, sometimes there'll be artists I never heard of with like millions of views, and sometimes they'll have like a few thousand. Sometimes they have like 100 or not even.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of fun to find new music or other music out there.
Hmm.
Some of it I just love, and I'm like, dude, I got to add that to my favorite list.
For sure.
And
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do sometimes because like, I mean, Spotify is pretty good about it because you can go to like, you can just look up one song and then you can go to that radio station based off of that song.
mhm.
So like out of any song that you could look up, it'll make a whole playlist based off of the stuff that's like that song. So you can find artists like that pretty easy. But you know, if you're just like listening to your regular playlist and um on YouTube, you know, you're just looking at your regular recommended stuff, like you just end up watching the same stuff and listening to the same stuff, you know. Like you have to try to find new stuff, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
It's weird.
I
I remember back in the day when it was like you'd be watching something and then it'd be the suggested videos and it'd be a bunch of stuff that was like related to that actual video. Remember that?
I still get that.
I mean, mine's not like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just like,
I'll get like a mix.
yeah, it is a mix, but it's like it seems like it's way less stuff that has anything to do with that video. Like it's, I mean, at least back in the
Yeah, that's
day,
true.
it would be a bunch of new stuff. Now it might be something that's um like similar, related or whatever, but it's, you know, by a bunch of people you're already subscribed to or whatever.
That is true. And well, I like to listen to also some I'll check out my favorite artists on different podcasts.
Hmm.
Probably if like a fan of that, I would imagine like listen to a favorite guitar player on a podcast or something.
I mean, I don't know. I'm like most of the podcasts I listen to are just like comedy stuff. So sometimes they'll have,
Like comedians, you mean?
yeah,
Like Bobby Lee?
yeah. I don't listen to his a whole lot. I do listen to it though. I like it.
I don't listen to his a lot, but I listen to him on other people's podcasts a lot.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I love Bobby Lee's whole like he's just so strange and like awkwardly funny.
He's crazy. Yeah. He's pretty good. Theo Vaughn is good. I listened to the like Tom Segura one and then the one he does with Bert Kreischer. I mean, pretty much everybody's got a podcast.
Oh yeah, true that.
Some are better than others. Um, Bill Burr, I like the one that he does. He does one by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Diaz, that's a pretty good one.
I never really listened to his.
Danny Brown, he just started his own podcast. That one is
I haven't listened to it. I just seen him on like Joe Rogan and some other ones, I think.
that Joe Rogan one. What did you watch the whole thing?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, me neither. I stopped watching about like halfway through, but it wasn't that good. I was like, at first, I was like, man, it's kind of cool how he's just like you could tell he doesn't give a fuck that Joe Rogan is who he is, you know?
Uh-huh.
He's just kind of talking to him like whoever, you know, which I thought that was cool. But like a long way through, I'm like, man, they're not even like getting along.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like they just weren't even vibing really. Um, but then
Huh.
Danny Brown started drinking, and then that was when I stopped watching. Not for any reason, but I just paused it, and I don't know. Apparently, he got like super drunk.
I'd imagine like
So yeah, I gotta watch the rest of that.
he kind of has always kind of like he says he never done crack, but he seems like a crackhead to me.
I mean, he's done some shit for sure.
Yeah, I heard him on Andrew Scholl's podcast talking about codeine addiction
Hmm.
and stuff like that. You know, he just he got like that crackhead like laugh and vibe or something.
Yeah,
But yeah, he always kind of seemed like the type of guy to me that was like kind of like fun and like funny to be around, but that probably has like this whole like ghetto dark side that's like, yo, my life kind of sucks.
yeah,
That, you know, it just seemed like he has some like demons bottled up, probably.
yeah. I think could be something like that. I mean, because he was kind of explaining it a little bit about how like just how he kind of is like burning bridges all the time, you know, just by like not really just kind of doing like what I was saying he's doing to Joe Rogan, you know, like most people would be like, oh my God, being like agreeing with everything he said. And I mean, not most people, but you know, they'd be like,
Like
I'm on the Joe
you ain't
Rogan podcast.
shit. Like,
That's yeah, it was basically what he was like. But it was super, it was there was funny moments and stuff, but he was just saying how like just by you know, not giving a fuck, he's basically, you know, it's he could have stifled himself and been more successful just by, you know, being more likable or whatever.
right. Yeah, I suppose that does the whole yeah, likability of like if I could
I like him though.
yeah, he's rad. I never really dove into his music much. I've definitely checked him out, but I guess that burning bridges thing, like that's definitely something I've had to learn to check is my ego and to have more like respect for other people. I've had to learn how to like get back to that point in my life, especially, you know, just in the entertainment world of like connecting with different people at shows. Like obviously I haven't been doing that for a long time. I want to again. I just know that I don't want and obviously things will never be like they were before. But there is something weird about like when you connect with somebody who's more well known or, you know, like they might be like, oh, I got 100,000 followers or my video's got 1 million views and that how that can change your ego. It's changed mine at times. And then I have to like be leveled out back down to earth, and it's just really hard to get along with people sometimes when they have that ego.
Yeah.
And I don't know, a guy like Joe Rogan, I'm like, dude, he's so big. I don't even know if I don't think he really needs an ego. Like, of course he has one, but it's like, but how much do you really need to like? Are you gonna be like, do you know who I am?
Right.
Like, of course people probably do, but then at the same time, like, who cares? Like, like he seems like the type of guy that's probably seen and done enough to where he's like, whatever, dude. Like,
I just think it's crazy, dude. Like the because I was into him before it was like this, before he was like I mean, he's super fucking famous now. It's like I think it's the biggest podcast in the world. Like that's what everybody says.
dude, I'm like, this is the people will be saying, he'll say that Tom Green was like his inspiration. He's like, yo, I seen the Tom Green show. You inspired me to podcast.
Yeah.
And, so there's obviously these kind of like pioneers of it. But I'm like, dude, Joe Rogan is, if I had to put a pioneer on podcasting, I would say Joe Rogan is, if he wasn't obviously the first to do it, he's the one that just kept doing it enough to the point it became to the like point where there's like celebrities in the music world, acting world, like astronauts and physicists and MMA people, freaking Elon Musk, like Kanye West, politicians and stuff. I'm like, dude,
Did he have Obama on or what? No.
I don't know. No, I would have seen that. I don't think he's ever had a president.
I thought it was somebody like that. Who did he have on that was
I mean, you would think that Donald Trump would get on there.
man? See, I don't even know anymore.
Well, but and the reason why, because I'm like, think about it, like him and Duncan Trussell or Alex Jones. Alex Jones be on there and be like, yeah, dude, yeah, I went to the Bohemian Grove and I seen this 9 foot tall reptilian alien statue behind a sheet or something,
Hmm.
and it's like, where do you go? Like, what when you're at that level and all these people and that you talk about these things, and when it's guised under entertainment and just bullshitting, it's just a weird territory, right? And then it always makes you think like, is this just fun and games? Are they part of the charade? Is there something going on here?
I mean, I don't know, dude.
Because they're like, you would think that when you get to that level of podcaster, your influence on society so massive.
For sure.
And that's what people get on there and say. And that's probably why Danny Brown, again, maybe the word that could possibly used is squander or something,
Right.
because of the fact that it's like, Tom Green would get on there and be like, thank you so much. You don't even understand. This is like what you do for other people with this podcast. You could get I'm pretty sure I've seen him have some people on there that I was like, I never really knew about this person, and now the whole,
On the Joe Rogan podcast.
yeah.
Right.
If they get on there and they're promoting their book about
I
mental
found
health
out
or
about a ton
something,
of people. Yeah,
yeah. And I just think it's really a powerful platform.
definitely is. I think the Danny Brown show or whatever it's called, I'm pretty sure I have a good feeling about that. I feel like it's going to be like a big one because he's hella funny.
I never
And
really checked him out much, but it's probably in his alley, right? His own show.
I mean, yeah, and it's produced by the producers of the Tom Segura's podcast and his
Mm,
network or whatever.
nice. Yeah, I wonder. It's so weird. Like, it's so weird to think that podcasts have now become that. There'll be a production team behind a podcast, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, dude. I don't know. I mean, it makes sense after a certain point. Like,
Especially if you're already at that like type of a level where you're working with production teams and you have a manager and they want to kind of cater the content a bit.
I mean, really, all you need for a podcast though is like, I mean, two people could do it for sure. Just, I guess it just depends on what you're trying to do. But if there was just one other dude there that was like, he's there to switch the cameras and look shit up, like, that's, I would love that job, dude. I'd be hella good at it.
Nice. Yeah, I remember we've talked about some stuff like that. I mean, eventually I still want to take it to a level one day where, you know,
Like, dude, talk about squandering opportunities. What about Red Band, the old producer of the Rogan podcast? He fucked that up.
what happened.
He was just bad at it. Like,
Oh,
I mean, did you ever really watch it back then?
no. When like before it became like
He
really
stopped being.
big or
I mean, I think it was, yeah. Like, I mean, because it got really big. I don't know. It actually just it was like a pretty steady incline from when he started, but he started in like fucking 2010 or something.
hmm.
But yeah, Red Band was the producer probably until like I don't know what episode. It was kind of early on though. But he would just like ruin conversations, you know, he'd just interject with like the dumbest shit. And he'd be like a good guest too, like an important guest or something. They'd be like, you know, but he was just messing shit up and just by like messing around and like
Jeez. Well, I recently seen Rob Dyrdek.
yeah,
I seen him on Steve O's a while back, but he was on Logan Paul's podcast.
okay,
And I'm not a big Paul Brothers fan, but I do like some of the Impulsive podcast.
yeah.
Actually, I do think it's kind of cool that I don't know. It's weird, like with Jake Paul getting into the boxing. At first, I thought it was a joke, and it's kind of interesting to see him stick in that lane. Um, but they get some good people on there. Was Sean O'Malley just on Joe Rogan's again?
Yeah, it looked like it.
See, that trips me out sometimes too, where I'll think of Sean just being like a Helena kid,
Mhm.
and just how he's probably comfortable going over to Joe Rogan's podcast.
Right.
I know he did it once with Tim there, but I think it's just cool, and it goes to show that no matter who you are or where you come from, that if you really like go for it and just yeah, that's what I want to do,
There was
it
some
could
dude on
happen.
there. I think he was a hunter or something like that. Um, can't remember his name, but he's from Kalispell. He's on
Big
the
game
Rogan
hunter,
podcast.
or
It
just
was something like that.
I may have seen it. Did he write a book?
I think so.
I think I was checking that one out too.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
just some dude from Kalispell, like with like a full-time job. But then
I
yeah,
did see that.
yeah, and he was like a hunter. Yeah, and he might have wrote a book too. And I'm like, dude,
Yeah, dude, it's pretty rad that the successes in life that you can find that aren't uh celebrityism. You know,
yeah,
where I'd say like with the success, like Sean O'Malley, I'm like, yo, he's like a celebrity now. Of course, I know him because he's from this area. Yes. But sorry, my son was talking about one of his favorite gamers. Um, but then like you say, another dude that he's not necessarily a celebrity from the area, but he's created success in what he's doing and, you know, connected with the right people and the right audience and, you know, somehow through the network connected with Joe Rogan and probably just through like the hunting.
yeah.
I know Joe Rogan will come out here to hunt,
Hmm.
and I think it's just cool. And I always try to keep that in the back of my mind still, where I'll think like, you know, how weird it is when you like meet people that are, you know, not the normal people you come across.
Yeah.
I hate to make it sound like some people are, I don't mean to say they're more special than other people, but maybe they're just people, some people put themselves out there more.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about just like, if it's entertainment business type thing, or even if you're like a salesman or whatever, like there's all these different types of things that like will make you attractive, and that's just um, some people got it, some people just got it, some people have to work for it or whatever. But it's just those attributes make doing, like, if you're going to be an entertainer, like I said, like a salesman or something, just makes doing that a lot easier, so
Well,
mm,
I do think about that stuff sometimes, like just living my life, like going shopping the other day, and just when I think about like appearance, because I like to like right now, I got on like comic book clothing and like some like magenta, red, pink hair or something. So yesterday when I'm going Black Friday shopping and probably look, you know, punk rock and with some different clothes, and then there's, you know, other folks through the store that are, yeah, you got a new Sonic toy, Black Friday.
heck yeah.
But there might, you know, there's Montana style folks, you know, jeans and a earth tone North Face hoodie.
Yeah.
Which I
Yep.
like to wear clothes like that too, where it's like, yo, I'm just wearing like some normal like, blue jeans, earth tone shirt, and a brown hat.
Hmm.
Sometimes I might be like pink tie dye and acid wash jeans and old Converse or something.
Right.
And then the Amish ladies come walking in, or the Hooderites,
Yep.
in their like bonnet dresses and polka dots and stuff. And I'm like we look at each other and I'm like, they gotta be looking at me like, these fucking people.
Yeah.
Tattoos, crazy hair, weird clothes.
Hmm.
They're like, look at us. We're, you know, they're no tattoos. They all wear like the same kind of clothes. I don't know. It's just so it was a weird like juxtaposition.
That's what's cool about being in the city, is like nobody looks at you.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes they
And
do, but for the most part, like most people are just, there's not enough time to look at all the weird people.
Yeah, dude. And like yesterday, or when I go shopping or anything, I'll try to like just be like, I'll try to look like almost nowhere. Like I'll try to not look at people. And I'll just be like, dude, I'm just like going this way. I'm going to my little destination. I don't want to be
Yeah,
distracted. And because I also don't want people to be looking at me. I don't like making eye contact really and having that weird like, do I say something now? We just looked at each other.
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I will glance at people as they walk by because I'm like,
Well, check out their ass for sure. No.
yeah, no, but I mean like eye contact because I'm like, I feel like trying not to look at someone is just as weird as looking at someone, for too long.
Yeah, true that. I mean, sometimes it's just natural, like whatever, just living life and kind of glancing over at people.
What I think is weird is like how fast our eyes are at like connecting with someone else's eyes. Like if you just come around the corner and someone else comes around the corner at the exact same time, like you both just instantly hear. It's it's crazy. Like our brains are just you know programmed to look for eyes.
Oh yeah, and then 'cause you have to be like, "Oh, excuse me," or
Yeah,
"Oh, thank you." I'll hold the door for somebody
yeah,
or whatever. And so like yesterday, I was looking at some different like charms and stuff to make earrings,
yep,
you know. And there's this group of three chicks in the aisle, and they're like, "Oh my god!" And I keep thinking like, "I'm in the way. I might be in their way. They might want to look at this section, so I'm gonna hurry up, find what I'm looking for." And I just couldn't quite find it. And they're like, next to me, talking to each other. Oh, blah 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 blah. And this one chick's like, I really like pineapples, but you know, sometimes you can't really you wear them because of what they also symbolize. And have you heard what the upside down pineapple symbolizes?
no,
It's like a swinger symbol.
really,
So if people are swingers, like an upside down pineapple is like thing, but I'm sure just kind of the pineapple thing.
huh?
So of course I'm like, oh God, I don't want to get into some conversation with these chicks. If I was a single guy, I probably would. But
Right.
it's like, oh dude, this is like awkward now. These chicks are having this conversation beside me about being a swinger and their boyfriend, or I don't have a boyfriend. I'm like, dude, I gotta get my shit and get out of here.
Yeah.
Cause, sometimes you wonder, like, when people say things and they want you to hear it, you know, like people might be like flaunting,
Right.
like, oh man, yeah, oh yeah, I don't know, my girlfriend last night, she just blah 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 or whatever. They might be talking to one person but they want like the group to hear it,
Yeah.
and it's just like, it's a little awkward here.
I mean,
Maybe I'm
I think
eavesdropping.
no, I don't know if you're in public. I mean, I think it's pretty funny just hearing what people will say randomly as you're walking by them. Sometimes it doesn't happen a lot, but like a lot of the times it reminds me of Grand Theft Auto when you're just walking around and like the NPCs like they always say some messed up stuff that's like
Yeah,
just off the wall. Like you're like, what did she say? And you just keep walking.
I just always think of the guy that's like in the Navy. It's like Grand Theft Auto 3 or something.
Hmm.
in the Navy. So dumb.
Man, yeah, I haven't really been gaming at all, but as soon as that GTA 6 comes out, I'll probably get that.
Dude, yeah, but that's gonna be fun. Yeah, I play a lot of Super Smash Bros. We just got another Super Mario 3D World. It's pretty
Hmm.
cool.
Oh,
It's just like Mario, but 3 dimensions, not a platformer. You get like a cat suit in this one.
okay. I think I've seen that.
But yeah, I don't really get the chance to game much. I always am like, I should be doing something else. I would game with my kids, but
Yeah,
I'm always like, I should work on some music or
right.
something. But
Yo, could we pause real quick?
pause. All right, we're back from a little pause break. I don't really
Sir.
remember what we were talking about before, but dude, I had a a nightmare last night.
Yeah.
It's pretty stupid, but basically, I was taking bong hits. I don't smoke weed right now,
Right.
and so I have this dream I'm taking bong hits and partying, drinking. I'm like, oh shit. So in my dream, I'm like high, like I could feel high again and drunk, and then I was like, oh, I'm like kind of enjoying this feeling, but also I feel like guilty. Like, oops, I just messed up my sobriety. And
Right.
then like my dream flashed to me in a AA meeting. And when they're asking people like any birthdays here, anybody 3 months sober, 1 month sober, a year sober, blah blah. And they also ask, is this anybody's first meeting since their last drink? And in my dream I was like, me?
Right.
I'm just like, oh dude, I don't ever want to have to be that guy. But yeah, I'm like, dude, that's weird that I have a nightmare about that nowadays. Like that, you wouldn't think that's a nightmare. The old me would have been like,
Um,
oh, it's just a dream.
right. Yeah, that's the thing though, is I don't think you really dream about it when you're doing it too much,
Well, because I'll still
right?
get my cravings to smoke weed.
Right.
Like if I'm gonna do pretty much anything. Um,
Hmm.
but if I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna sit down and play guitar, some music, or gonna paint. Recently, I've been wanting to work on my comic book again, and you know, so it really makes me like want to smoke weed, which
Right.
obviously nothing against smoking weed, but I definitely have a problem with it where I'm just like, dude, I just can't fucking stop. Like, and it so quickly stop working for me where I'll be like, dude, I just smoke so fucking much that it's like nothing,
Right.
which is, it's weird that, and I've been wanting to write a song sometimes about that stuff because sometimes I'll have those feelings of where it's like, well, why am I not able to be like these other people that just can do like a little bit of something? They're like, yeah, I'm good.
Just build different.
I guess so. Yeah, I just have that like thing that's like, yo, once I have a little bit, I'm like, crank it. Let's keep this baby running all night.
Right.
Yeah, so that was my nightmare last night. And then I woke up this morning and I went to my AA group.
Yeah.
But I was so like grateful when I woke up and I was like, oh, sweet. I didn't actually relapse last night.
Yep.
Because now I have a sponsor and I have my weekly ritual and I'm surrounded by all these people that are sober and that keep each other in check.
Yep.
So now I'm like, dude, there's no I can't ever like get away with that shit again, you know?
Right.
So, which is one of the main reasons I even chose to do that.
Yeah, dude.
But I have those thoughts all the time. I'll be brushing my teeth thinking about bottle of Jack Daniels, and I'll still be like, dude, I'll just think that way where I'm like, dude, I just want to drink a fucking bottle of Jack all night long.
Yeah.
It's so, but then there's this other half of me that's like, no, you don't. Like,
Yeah.
it's weird. Fucking weird, man.
Yeah, man. I'll think about it like it's not, at least right now, I can say that like the pull for it isn't really that strong. Like I'll see bottles of liquor over at people's places or something, or beers in their fridge or something. Like part of me is like, that'd be nice. But I mean, it's just so much easier to just stay away.
It's me, Waluigi.
Yeah,
That's
nice creation, son. Well, it's true. And I'm super grateful that I can do that. Like walk past the beer aisle and not be tempted and be around others drinking. But it's just weird to still have that like thought, even though I really have no desire to drink at all.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying. It's like the only thing is just the thought. It's like I could.
But then it's also like, why? And when
Yeah,
I measure the things of why, and then I think about like where it's gonna go, where I'll be like, I'm just like, what's the point of me having one drink? Like, if I had one drink, I'd be like, fuck it, I've already had a drink. I'm getting freaking drunk.
right.
And then I'd be like, get to that point of my drunkenness where it's like, it doesn't really feel good anymore. And then go to sleep and wake up and be like, oh, fuck. I fucked up. Hope I didn't
Yeah,
do anything stupid last night. And then be hungover. And like the physical part of it sucks.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Drinking is one really weird thing. But yeah, it's weird talking to people now that smoke weed that like didn't
Hmm.
in the past, and they'll be
Right.
like talking to me about smoking weed, and I'll still talk it up, and I'll be like, hell yeah, dude. I still talk to people about drinking beers and be like, yeah, dude, I used to love me some Miner's Gold. I wasn't too into the dark beers. I didn't drink the tumbleweed really,
Yeah.
but I'd be like, fuck, dude, I drink a whole case of White Claw. Still wasn't drunk. I didn't feel like it, at least. No.
Yeah. I was over at my cousin's the other day, or yeah, on Thanksgiving,
Mm-hmm.
and she had a friend over, and she was like, because she smelled weed on me, and she's like, so do you like indica or sativa? It was just like hella hella boomer question,
Oh, right, yeah.
just because she smelled weed on me, and she's like, even when she noticed it, and she's like, somebody smells like weed, and she's just like looking at me, and then she's just like really diving in to stare at me, and I'm like, yeah, it's probably me. Like,
What, some flour? Or you got a vape?
yeah, flower.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife was wanting me to pick her up some. I was just getting out of my AA meeting, and I was just like, she's like, well, I'll have your sister. It's like, yeah, that'd probably be better than,
Yeah,
like, obviously I could go into the pot shop and buy you some weed, but
Mm-hmm.
I was like, last night, I literally had a dream I was hitting the bong. Like, I can vividly remember, like, the bowl, lighting the bowl, packing the bowl, the fucking
Yeah.
smoke up the shaft of the bong. And I'm just like, it just brings back those memories of how much I loved hitting the bong.
Right.
And it was like, yo, you didn't get a good hit unless you're like, oh, fuck, man. God damn, my brain is floating away right now.
Yeah, dude. It's it's just even here in Kalispell, there's like it's got to be like 10 dispensaries, dude. There's a lot.
Well, yeah, dude, there's so many here now. Like in Helena, even, dude. Fuck.
Yeah.
There's probably 2 dozen. Oh god, I'll drive down the street and there'll be like 3 to 5.
It's
Probably more
crazy.
than that. They're hidden. They're like just been tucked away sometimes. Sometimes they're right out in the open.
Yeah. And some are like hella nice and some are just like some shack. It's like they're probably paying like $1,000 rent.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy. And that's what again where I'm like, fuck, I don't even smoke weed now. And I could just go anywhere and buy it, like literally.
It's fucking expensive though.
And that's my problem too, is that I would spend so much money on it. Because, somebody saying to me the other day, like, yeah, I went and bought uh uh 7 grams for like $100 and it should last me like 2 weeks. I'm like, fuck, dude. Nowadays, back in the day, I'd smoke a whole eighth in a day sometimes. I'd leave myself like a little bit. Of course, I'd be smoking other people up too.
Right.
But then, even still nowadays, I could smoke a whole eighth in 2 days.
Yeah.
And that's still being conservative for me. My wife would have like an eighth and it would literally last her like 2 months.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I just don't have that. My brain is just like, dude, I don't know. It's just different than some
Well,
people's.
yeah. I mean, I believe that if you are that type of person, and this is just me, and maybe I don't even fully believe it, but like, like it kind of makes sense that like somebody would smoke weed and then just kind of be cool with that, just smoking like a ton of weed all day, instead of doing something else. Like there's a lot of I don't
I
know
mean,
if,
instead of like drinking all day,
yeah, instead of drinking or doing some other drug that is like going to be bad
even
for you.
cigarettes. Some people don't smoke cigarettes; they just smoke weed.
Yeah, I mean, because at that point, like you said, where like it doesn't even work for you anymore. Like I think there's a balance, but um, you get to that point where it's like it's just normal, you're not like you said, brain floating away, stoned all the time.
But then, even when it got normal for me, where I was like, yeah, I just smoke joints like all day.
Yeah.
But then it's like, well, I still want to get off. So you're
No,
like,
for
well, I
sure.
have to like have way more. You gotta throw a dab on that sucker. And so then it becomes that thing where it's like, yo, I got all this flour here, and I got my vape pen, and I got my dabs over here, and I got my edibles in the pantry.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
No,
fuck.
for sure. For
And I
sure.
got my drink here. Dude, I drank one of those fucking drinks. I've drank tons of them, but sometimes I have like a half. I probably already told you this, but I decided to drink a full one.
God damn.
And you know me, dude. I have tons of experience with mushrooms and LSD and all that. Dude, this fucking THC can, dude, I was
Yeah.
just got like, I was like, dude, fuck. I need to lay down right now. I would go lay down, and I just had so much anxiety. I felt like something was wrapping around my body. You know, I was like, dude, I shouldn't move my body. I don't even know if I
Right.
can move my body.
Right.
And like looking around at the walls, it was just almost a feeling of the walls closing in on you. I just
Hmm.
started feeling claustrophobic inside my own body.
Right.
And I was just like, dude, how the fuck can I not handle this can of THC when I eat like a whole grip of mushrooms and acid and a Molly and alcohol on the same night, you know? And then it's like, dude, this fucking can of weed has got me freaking out.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. I've never really messed with edibles too much. I definitely have, but not to the point where it's like it was unpleasant or anything. But yeah, like some people just give me edibles randomly. They'll here, have this sucker or whatever, this random thing.
Mm-hmm.
And every time it's always like whatever. I'd never even felt anything. But me and my brother made cookies one time. I think I just had a bunch of the shake. Um, so I made butter and we made cookies from it. And dude, those were so good. Like just one cookie. You didn't even have to eat a cookie, but like my tolerance was pretty high at that point. So like, yeah, I would eat a full one, but um yeah, my mom ate one. She got fucked up. Me and my brother were just chomping on them, and I think we gave some to my dad and stuff. But yeah. Um, but it's a different thing, like, isn't it? It's like a whole different chemical that's produced when you eat it as opposed to when you smoke it.
Probably. I mean,
It is,
probably
I'm
the way
pretty
it
sure.
breaks it down and spreads throughout your body.
Yeah, it's some sort of like enzyme that's produced from your liver or something like that.
It seems more psychedelic to me for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's again weird how like when you like first start smoking, your eyes do get glazy and they kind of get like halfway open or really red.
Yeah.
And like, oh shit, like it's fucking smiley. Like, God, this motherfucker's high. I can tell by his face. Like, oh, yo, what's up, man? And then as you just like later, you're just like, whatever. It's just normal. It's normal. You go to job interview, smoke weed before
Mhm.
it, it's all normal. So that every time you go to work and you're high, they're like, this is just how they normally are.
Right.
And then when you do actually get to that point again where you're like, holy fuck, like I am so ripped right now, like, and your eyes get glazy and red again, and you're like, dude, I am fucking stoned, like, and you be getting high all the time, and then you're like, dude, I am fucking blazed right now. I'm ripped,
Right.
like I'm shredded, bro. No,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just, and again, it's weird how it becomes like it's a culture, smoking culture.
Hmm.
It was like before I smoked weed, I wasn't part of that culture. I didn't know what the heck. I didn't know what a nug was. I didn't know what a bud was. I didn't
Right.
understand this lingo. I didn't know
Yeah.
what a fuck. I still don't really know how to roll a joint very good.
Right.
But just all that stuff, it's like I was just thinking about this today when I was leaving the AA group was, how great job, son. Not right now. Was how it's like harder to be how hard it is to be clean and sober and how, it's obviously kind of easier to just be like, fuck it, I'm just gonna drink, or I'm just gonna do this.
Yeah.
And then resisting it is harder. But before I ever did any substances, it was so hard for me to do them.
Right.
Personally, I was like afraid to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's gonna be like if I'm not in my regular mind.
Dude, I've always wanted to smoke weed. Seriously, since I was like young. Like I would see my cousin smoke and be like, man, I want to smoke that. Like
Right?
I remember this one time, like,
I never wanted to.
yeah, one of my other cousins when I lived in Idaho, we went on this like walking trail that was just like kind of close to the house. And we just like went back in this somewhere off the trail or whatever, and she was just like smoking weed probably out of a can or something,
Oh, I remember that.
hella sneaky, she was a teenager, but I wasn't even a teenager yet,
Mm-hmm.
but I was just like, fuck, I was like just hoping that she was gonna give me some of that weed, and I was like, man, I was like 11 or 10 or something. But
Well, you
yeah,
had
and
smoked weed before I had.
I mean, yeah, I think the first time I really like smoked weed was I was like probably like 13 or 14, which is
I was
too
definitely
young.
uh I think I knew a lot of people around that age that would smoke weed.
No, I know. I'm not saying it's
Not common.
but it's too young for sure.
Yeah, I would
I mean, maybe to try
probably
it, but
agree.
uh I don't think I just like picked it up and started smoking all the time.
It's weird the shit you do when you're like young and smoking weed. I mean, it might be
I,
the same nowadays. I don't know.
you know
Like,
what? I think about it now. I think the first time I really got high. Oh no, I remember it. I was with it was like my friend in like elementary school. Then I didn't see him for like the longest time. And then he still lived in the same house and I lived like right up the street. And I just randomly seen him one time and I'm like, oh shit, like you still live, you know. And so he invited me over. And yeah, I was like 13 at the time, I think. And he was like this bigger kid, and like so he was hanging out with all these like older people, and like they were just partying straight up.
right.
He was like the same age as me, but he was like hanging out with these like 20-year-olds and shit. Seemed like. But they had this fat ass joint, and so they were passing around or whatever, like, and I ripped it, and it was kind of like what happened to you, and I think it happens to a lot of people. Like I didn't really feel it at first, and they're passing around, and so I'm like, take another rip, and I'm just like, and then it just hit me so hard,
Were
like
you
just fuck.
laughing?
Yeah, I was like cracking up laughing. He was like punching me in the arm. He's like, dude, shut the fuck up. And I was just like, I could not stop laughing.
That's so weird how it does that. Like it puts you into like hysteria. Like that's how mushrooms would be too. Like I don't know what it is.
I think you're just like, you're so like shocked that you could possibly feel like that.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is exactly. Sometimes of like all I know is when I first smoked, I was like, dude, I'll be smoking every day. Like the addict in me was already activated.
Yeah, I'm not sure if like I said, I don't think I definitely did it after that, and I would like try to do it and stuff. But yeah, maybe it was the same thing. Maybe I was like, fuck, this is awesome. I
For
probably was.
me, I was really like I didn't ever want to smoke weed or nothing. Like skateboarding and stuff, all my friends would smoke weed. Not all of them, but smoke, drink, whatever. And I'd be around it and I never was like wanted to do it. And it wasn't even really that I was scared to do it. I was just like, meh, like
Yeah.
I'm good. Like I don't really I feel like doing that right now. And then probably around when I was going to Skyline,
Hmm.
I started to get really depressed. Probably like getting into high school, I probably got more depressed, like 15, 16 years old. Like depression really started to sink in. And, I got way more into music. I wasn't really skateboarding. Skateboarding was a good place for me to also like vent my anger,
Yeah.
which would be because I'd be like trying a trick for so long, I just for smash skateboard and whatever. And so I got on some antidepressants for a little while. And I don't think I really gave them much of a chance. But I was like, no, I don't want these. I don't like the way they would make me feel. And like I found it in my notebook recently where I was like when I decided to smoke weed and like I wrote
You're
some
like, dear diary,
dear
tonight I'm
diary.
gonna smoke weed.
Yes. And I still haven't been laid. No. uh, that's why I'm so depressed. No.
Yeah.
uh but it was yeah, it was like some poem or some lyrics I was writing just about depression and like wanting something to
Yeah.
bring me out of it and feeling like maybe this will bring me out of my depression. Like I've tried this medication. No, didn't help. Maybe if I smoke weed, it'll help.
Right.
And so that I just stuck with it because I was like, yo, it makes me like focus more in on stuff. Like I'd focus on guitar, writing, and I could maybe say it made me more creative or like think about things deeper. Definitely kind of would make me happier because I'd be like, I'm fucking high right now, dude. Oh my god, this TV show is so fucking funny. Like let's munchies would kick in. I'm like, oh my god, this fucking Reese's is so good. Oh,
Yeah.
and so yeah, it was like for me, it was like my cure all, smoking weed.
Right.
Later, once I started drinking or whatever, if I felt sick, if I was feeling sad, if I was angry, whatever, it was my fix. I was like, dude, I just need to smoke a bowl.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what you could say it was like a temporary, as long as that high would last.
Hmm.
And then I come down and be like, well, I need some more, obviously. And so, yeah, I guess I just fucking smoked weed for 15 plus years, like pretty much nonstop.
Right.
So that's why part of me is always like, who are you? Yeah.
Right.
It's pretty weird, but it is it's not that bad.
No, I mean,
Either way, it's not that bad. I don't think smoking is that bad. I don't think not smoking is that bad.
right. Yeah, of all the things that you could do, like I said, if you are that type of person that like has to have some, like I'm not like, I don't know, I'm not really advocating either way because just like anything, like it could be abused. Um, but yeah, like if that's what
But
you're
have
doing,
you ever
like
shot up weed? I
no,
have. I'm just kidding.
no, but if there was a way, no.
You ever
Um,
boof it?
right. I mean, yeah, that's I don't know. I forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah, dude, it's
You're just saying how not advocating it. It can be abused.
Yeah, it definitely should be legal, but like I think a lot of things should be legal, you know, like because people are gonna do these things anyways. Just like with weed, like it's been illegal for how long? There's like a huge culture behind it, like even when it was illegal, you know.
Yeah, it is weird. Like, say I'll have some thoughts about marijuana and be like, well, what if I had a doctor that, because I have prescription medication, and then I've had a medical card,
Yeah,
but even that's different because it's not like you have a prescription where you can go like get your prescription filled and your insurance could pay for it,
right.
or this is your dosage.
Hmm.
We just not like that. It's like, yo, you might have a medical marijuana card, but you could go buy up to an ounce a day.
Yeah, it's just I don't really get that. I think it's because it's still federally illegal. I mean, I feel
Yeah,
like that's coming though. Like, I don't know what it's gonna take. Is it got to be like 80% of the states is already legal or what?
I'm not really sure, but I wonder what kind of impact it's had on society other than financially, but like, uh, I don't know what the word is. If it's like consciously or anything where it's like, does society, did it conduct themselves differently with more access to marijuana?
Well, I was thinking about it like, they're just like how we are talking about it. Like, if you do use it to the point where you're not getting like insanely high off it, like if you just, because like if you don't smoke and you just take one rip, just one tiny little baby hit,
You'd be good.
well, not even that, but like if you just take like a full hit, like you'll be fucked up, you know. But when you get to that point where like you're smoking all the time, like you could take a fat as hit as you want, and you're just you'll feel it, but like you're not like incapacitated, like you can still do anything basically, So my point is there's like a huge chunk of the population that are functioning throughout the day while they're just getting high.
Well, yeah, homie was saying that once at work. I was like, "You hit the vape?" Like he might have been acting funny or something. So you hit the vape? He's like, "No, I don't do that at work anymore. Like back in the day, yeah, but I wouldn't be able to function now. It's just when I get home." I was like, "Shit, that was the only way I could function."
I
And
mean,
when
everybody's
I was
different, but
smoking,
there's
yeah.
definitely, yeah, there's definitely a
But it was just to that point where it's like I'd smoke right away in the morning, on the way to work, once we got to work, during the smoke break, at lunch, next smoke break.
yeah,
It was just always like that. And then get home, do my thing, get in the shower, smoke, get out, smoke,
yeah.
eat before I eat my food, smoke, after smoke. It's just crazy. Like, but that's the lifestyle of it for me was this will enhance anything I'm doing.
Hmm.
It'll make it better.
Right.
And
Yeah.
but I don't know. That's the way it was with alcohol for me too. Like, obviously, I didn't really I was pretty good about not waking up and drinking when I was working.
Yeah.
I'd wake up and drink other times. I was fucked
Hmm.
up. Like, but when I was working, sometimes we would drink at lunch and get back to work, but most of the time we're like, fuck this. And but right when I got off work, right when I got home, yes. And when people are like, uh, just, and they say drink to get drunk. I'm like, dude, I fucking drank to get drunk.
Yeah.
And then actually, I really a lot of times drank to get really drunk
Hmm.
because normal drunk was like, that was normal for me.
Right.
And, I was thinking about us when we were like, I don't know, between 18 and 21 and how like that was a lot of our lives for like a summer or so with a bunch of our friends. It was like, yeah, like, where's the party at tonight? How are we gonna get the bottle? Who's got the weed? Who got the this and that?
Right.
And it was just so weird how there's that point in life too where it's like so much of our lives were driven by that. And I think also a lot of chicks, they'd be like, well, I'm gonna be with the guy that can supply me with the most. You know what I mean? Like whoever can provide me with consistent drink or smoke or whatever.
Hmm. No shit.
It was just weird. Like, but then again, like I say, like getting in with that culture of people. Like, obviously, if you're like with a girl that doesn't really like care about that stuff or live like that, that's not going to be her motive behind your relationship.
Right.
That's something else I've been learning doing this program and stuff was, just about relationships and kind of like why we'll have relationships with people, if there's motives or agendas, and just kind of like you say with that Danny Brown thing about burning bridges with people or building bridges or just not doing nothing with the relationship.
Hmm.
And yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I still talk with you,
That's right.
but
Yep.
you're one of the only ones.
That's all right, man.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I've even gotten to that point here with the podcast too, where a lot of times I just like doing our own thing. Like having some guests, sure, but when I was first getting it going, I would talk to a lot of people I didn't even know.
Yeah.
But I don't really want to do that so much.
Yeah, I wouldn't force it, man. Like doesn't doesn't have to be anything, it doesn't have to be guests all the time or
Well, it's weird how that all happened so fast when I first started it.
yeah,
It was like people were just like, yes, 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 I want to do it. I want to do that. I was like, oh, all right, well, okay.
right.
And then it just dies down and you and I started doing them regularly.
Well, I honestly think it's the Zoom thing. I think people don't want to see that anymore.
True
Because I
that.
think I think it kind of reminds people of COVID, honestly, in a weird way.
Yeah, I just really don't know how else to do it right now until like if you and I were in the same town, we could like sit in a studio setting.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that's like a lot of people's gut reaction. But I think there probably is a way to do it, like how we're doing it, if we could edit it, or like I was saying, like we had some sort of way to control it where it wasn't just side by side.
Well, there was something I was thinking about looking into that was like a setting on the videos Actually, let me see if I can find it real quick just to like test it out. Well, I don't know if I found the right setting to do that, but eventually I'll
Yeah.
get it figured out. But yeah, I think with the podcasting that really what I need to do is chop out the sections and even put timestamps in it where it's like, yo, from this time to this time we talk about guitars, and this time to this time we talk about smoking weed. This time to this time we talk about podcasting.
Hmm.
And then if I did chop them up and put them up online with a thumbnail, and that is the one topic, I think that would do better.
It's worth a try, yeah, for sure.
Because I've seen it with some of the videos where I'd be like, yo, I'm just gonna upload us talking about this one thing,
Yeah.
and it would feed into the natural algorithm.
Hmm.
I think that the shorts do really good for algorithms nowadays.
Right.
And that's why I'm saying, like, well, a lot of your drawings actually take a lot of time. Like a lot of time, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I'd have to make a long get it.
Or you just need to, yeah. How long do you think that was that one sitting or no?
Yeah, I was working on it for a while. I mean,
Like a few hours or like 1 hour?
it was a few hours probably.
Yeah. So if you had a GoPro on time lapse mode,
Hmm.
or and then if you could shorten that 2 hours into 15 seconds,
Right.
that would do good.
Yeah,
And that's what
for
people
sure.
want to see is they just, I think they want to see like blank sheet of paper turns into Mac Miller's face,
Hmm.
and
Yep.
I think I like watching stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think I think it's that whole anticipation thing of like that keeps people interested in a video is like, what's gonna happen here?
Yep.
And um so that's just one of the areas, like even on my own YouTube channel, I was like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna focus on art mainly.
Hell yeah.
Like when I release stuff about art, it gets the most attention and interactions. So I'm just like, well, maybe I just stick with that because I love making art,
Yep.
and it doesn't, it's just, I think I'm still finally getting to those points, and I just need to figure it out for the podcasting as well. It's like, uh, and that's fine. It might take like 100 episodes to really be like, I cracked the code, and I figured out the formula, the way I like to do things, which is important, I think, for anything. And, sometimes it might be like you revamp it all, you know,
Yeah.
after a certain point where it's like you were talking about Joe Rogan. I don't know how many he probably did in the past before like they got a new studio or something.
Um, yeah, dude, shit takes time for sure.
Yeah, what about your podcast? Dummy Head podcast?
I just wish I had more time, man. Like, I definitely have enough time because obviously I was doing it before, but um, I just need to find a way to do it where like it looks the way I want, but it just doesn't take as long to edit.
Right.
And I think most of that goes into the recording, because like if I can just go on these rants and just not stop, until I'm completely done saying everything, and then I can kind of like slow down for a second, maybe like, gather my thoughts and then just go on these like chunks where like I know this is where I'm going to cut, this is where I'm going to cut. Basically just less cuts, because
Yeah.
most of them that I've been doing, there's so many cuts. It takes forever.
Yeah, and it's like you can kind of look at the audio wave and say, oh, there's kind of like a blank spot there.
Yeah.
But and then with it usually comes like a little zoom in on like the face or this or that.
Hmm.
So there's all those little things that go into the edit.
Yeah,
And that's what I think a lot of people have an editor.
for sure.
And again, it's
Yeah.
like take time out of your day to talk and film and then to edit and then upload. It's
Hmm.
like it's a process.
Oh, for sure.
And that's why I do like the idea, like you were saying, of if you put together some topic video that's like, yo, I'm gonna focus on talking about Aaron Carter's death
Right.
or whatever. Maybe not that, maybe something a little more like something you're really interested in instead of just like a hot topic of the moment,
Yeah.
like some like deep dive into fucking Metallica master puppets or something. I don't know. And you make those like deep dive videos. It's like, yo, I'm gonna talk about this and have some picture and some video. I think that a
Hmm.
lot of it has to do with like the reward that keeps us motivated to keep creating. Is like if we create something and it gets good traction or it's well received, it just gives us that much more motivation to be like, okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna do this again
For sure.
because there's somebody out there they're gonna watch it. And
Right.
because I really enjoyed seeing your podcast, but I also know how hard it is to like succeed with anything. Like even with this podcast, where I'm like, yo, shit is hot at first, and then the fire starts to slowly fade, and then
Yeah.
getting it back.
Right.
S-
For sure. I mean, yeah, like I said, I think with mine, um, I just got to do those things that'll make it that much easier for me to where like I don't even have to think about it. Just sit down and do it, and then the edit maybe takes hour or two. Like because it really shouldn't take that long just for me sitting down, and even if I did just leave everything like pretty raw, you know, um, but just for the attention span and like the pacing, you know,
right.
that's what I'm thinking about mostly is just the pacing, like, but I don't know. It's not something I've given up on. I'm just like I'm not trying to force it because it's not even anything yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the way I feel about this podcast, even sometimes where I'm like, okay, I've gotten to this point of like ups and downs, and I've seen some things that spark interest, some things that don't spark interest. I think a lot of our interesting conversations and topics just get lost in not being found and people not knowing really what conversations we have within one podcast,
Yeah.
which is where the whole idea of like, I'm going to chop these little bits out because I know that, if people are out there and they're interested in uh, psychedelic trips or Freemasonry and the Illuminati and conspiracy theories, or if they're just interested in guitars, audio production. It's those little videos that, like, if we have 12 videos of audio production talks from different podcasts, that one dude out there that finds it, oh, I like listening to these guys talk about making beats. And then they just are like, they'll be fed those other
Right.
clips. And so really I'll think about that a lot to myself. I'm like, well, sometimes I don't need to create content. I just need to go through the content I have, chop out the good parts,
Yep.
share that so that people can discover what we got going on.
For sure.
And yeah, so I mean, I always enjoy talking to you.
Definitely.
It keeps our relationship strong.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool we could do it this way too, where it's like we could see each other, then we're also like making something.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be cool
Definitely, we
to
should do some music.
I'm gonna be doing some music stuff tonight, so I'll go through. I've just been clearing out my storage on my Google, so I'll be able to email you some files. And I got some really weird ones. I got some normal
Mhm.
ones.
Hell yeah.
I got some heavy ones.
Right. Dude, whatever. Yeah, like
I was just
yep.
oh, dude, just killing my arm. I was like trying to get some good, like, palm mute chugs, and with the good rhythms of and I was just like, dude, I have to get it perfect. I have to get the exact rhythm I'm hearing in my head, the different triplets, and
Yep.
it's fucking hard.
Oh yeah.
Pinch harmonics. I was like, man, I'm just trying to get them exactly right. I want it to
Right.
sound like this every time. So
Oh yeah, dude. Well, I need to get some food in me.
get some food, brother. I'll send you some files tonight. Thanks for another chat.
Hell
And
yeah.
I'll talk to you again soon, brother.
All right, brother. Sounds
All
good.
right. Love you, dog.
Love you too, bro.
Later.
Peace.